All right. Well, I hope you guys are having a better morning than I'm having. I'm actually red on the day, which it's unfortunate, but that's part of trading. That's part of the game. I still want to go through, my thought process, what I was looking at. Was it a good loss? Was it a bad loss? And just kind of go through the whole rundown. So when I first opened up the charts this morning, I noticed that all of these stacked lows right here, we had taken those out pre-market. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, do we want to sweep these lows and continue higher? Do we want to displace past those lows and go lower? I'm not really sure. But what I do see is we have this new week opening gap right here that we have yet to fill. And if you don't know, new week opening gap is that draw is super super free. It's just a magnet that price likes to draw to. So if we were to continue displacing lower, then I was very open to shorting towards this new week opening gap. Now market opens, and let me take all this shit off. Market opens up, we immediately start displacing lower towards that new week opening gap. So automatically that becomes my draw. I have a very bearish bias, and I want to see a safe entry for me to take towards that new week opening gap. So I saw we displaced. We had these beautiful 1 minute fair value gaps form. I was looking for something ideally that looked like this, and then we can catch a move towards the draw. Now, that is not what ended up happening. Instead, after this large displacement right here, we kind of just sat around in this area. And a lot of the times, like when that happens, especially when it's a super free draw, like new week opening gap, we won't get that retrace. Instead, we'll just flush towards that draw because it's such a strong magnet. So when I saw this candle close right here, I'll move this out of the way, this bearish candle, that gave me enough confirmation to know that, okay, we're probably not going to retrace into these gaps before taking this. We're probably just going to go straight for it. So I ended up taking my position at that candle closure, and I used roughly 2/3 of my normal size. I didn't go full size because I was willing to, if I did get stopped out, I was willing to wait for a proper retrace and then go full size on that trade. But with these entries right here, they're a little bit sketchier. I call them sketchy 1 minute entries. As soon as we start flushing and it's at a place where it actually makes sense, I set my stop at break even because we very well could retrace up, hit these gaps, and then get the move that I'm looking for. So as soon as price gets around here, I put my stop at break even. If you were on the charts at this time, you know that candle moved quick as fuck. Like it was like a millisecond and we shot right up and I got stopped at break even. So at that point I'm kind of sketched out. I'm like what the fuck was that? And I'm a little bit hesitant now. But unfortunately for me, I get stopped by about 7 points, and then we just immediately start flushing. It just kind of is what it is. That's how it goes. And I probably would have trailed my stop here and walked away with like half of what my normal win would be, but that's hindsight, of course. So after that trade hit break even, we just kept flushing towards that low. And so I'm sitting back at this point. I don't really, think I'm going to be able to get an entry towards that new week opening gap just because there's nowhere here where I can get a safe entry and the risk reward makes sense. It's just longevity wise, that's not how I want to be trading. So I sit back. But I notice we kind of edge that draw and then we start retracing up. So immediately in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, do we have a 5 minute gap? Do we have a 15 minute gap? Like there's got to be something that we want to retrace to continue the move lower. So I zoom out to the 5 minute time frame and I see we have a beautiful 5 minute fair value gap. So now that 5 minute fair value gap, that's my condition. I want to see price retrace back up, hit that gap, and then continue the move lower. So price comes back up, we're into that 5 minute gap. but I'm not just going to take an entry right away. I don't know if that gap wants to hold. I don't know if we want to blow through it. I have no idea. So I go back down to the 1 minute time frame, and I am looking for strong displacement towards the downside. And so we come up, we start to slow down. That's a good sign. And then we have this displacement candle right here, not quite enough for me to take an entry. As soon as we get this down close candle and it closes solid, and then we inverse this bullish 1 minute gap, I take my entry. At this point, I'm very, very confident that we want to take this drawdown here, and I know that I have a very safe entry, because if the market is moving efficiently, it makes no sense for us to come up past these highs and then go lower. Now, as you see by the chart, that's exactly what we did. So I got stopped out. My stop was here, which I believe was in a safe spot, and I got stopped out pretty quickly on this, which it sucks, but I don't think this was a bad trade. I think this is one of those trades that, with the way I trade continuations. My win rate is roughly 75 to 80%. I think this is just part of that 25% where statistically you're going to lose trades. You can't win every single trade. It's inevitable that you're going to take losses. But we did actually come back down. We took that draw a little bit later in the session, so I know my draw was correct. I know my bias was correct. Just execution-wise, I didn't time it quite right, that's all right. We learn from it. We move on. We go to tomorrow with a blank slate. I guess the only thing that I did notice was on ES. Like at that time when I took that trade, we took this draw right here, and we were kind of bouncing that 1 hour fair value gap. But in my opinion, like when you have a strong draw, like new week opening gap or all-time highs, data lows, whatever it may be, that's going to outweigh ES being in a 1 hour gap. So I was willing to put risk on the table. I accepted that risk. It didn't pan out. That's how trading goes sometimes. So I will go into tomorrow, put this day into the past. Tomorrow we start at 0 again. I am down 568 per account. So you didn't see me blow my accounts or anything. It's not the proper way to handle a loss. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow ends up being better. And if not, there's plenty of trading days ahead. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this, and have a good rest of your day.